So, you know Zillow, right? The real estate giant. But what's really fascinating is how they've quietly taken over the rental market. And it all comes down to this incredibly smart, elegant strategy. Today, we're going to break down exactly how they pulled it off.
Okay, let's be real. Why is finding an apartment just so frustrating? I mean, we've all been there, right? You're scrolling endlessly, you've got a million tabs open, you see a listing on one site and it's gone on another. The whole thing can be a total nightmare. But here's the thing. That exact frustration, that was the opportunity Zillow decided to tackle head on.
So, what was the root cause of all that pain? Well, it was one core problem. The rental market was just a mess. It was completely fragmented. There was no single reliable place to see everything. It forced renters like you and me to hunt across a dozen different platforms, never knowing if we were seeing the full picture.
So, Zillow's big idea to fix this chaos was to build a true all-in-one platform. And their goal wasn't just to solve the problem for renters. No, they wanted to create a solution for both sides of the equation, for the people looking for a home and the people who own them. And you can see that two-pronged approach right here. On one side, for renters, it became the ultimate one-stop shop for their entire journey. And on the other, for property managers, it was this super powerful tool to find great tenants way more efficiently. By solving the problem for both parties at the same time, they basically set the stage for some serious explosive growth. So think about it from the renter's perspective. Zillow was suddenly way more than just a search engine. It was the entire rental journey, right there in your pocket. You could find listings, sure, but then you could submit your application, digitally sign the lease, and even pay your rent every month, all inside one single app. I mean, talk about a streamlined experience. But they didn't just stop at making it easy. They added features that had a real-world value, like reporting your on-time rent payments to credit bureaus. Now just think about that for a second. You can actually build your credit score just by paying your rent. For a lot of people, that is a total game changer. Okay, so they built a great product, but how does that turn into total market domination? Well, it all comes down to this self-reinforcing growth engine that once it gets going is incredibly hard to stop. Yeah, it's called a virtuous cycle, or sometimes you'll hear it called a flywheel. The basic idea is pretty simple, actually. It's when success in one part of the business just automatically fuels more success in another part. And then that success feeds back into the first part, creating this awesome, unstoppable loop of momentum. And Zillow's flywheel is, well, it's simple, but it's absolutely brilliant. Step one, you solve the renter's problems, which attracts a massive user base. Step two, this huge audience of renters becomes completely irresistible to property managers, so they all rush to list their properties on Zillow. And then step three, all those new listings make the platform even better for renters, which, you guessed it, attracts even more users. And the cycle just repeats, spinning faster and faster. And you know what? Zillow wasn't content to just let the cycle spin on its own. They decided to supercharge it with some really smart partnerships. By teaming up with Realtor.com and Redfin, advertisers can now post their listings and have them show up across all three platforms. This is huge. It gives advertisers an even bigger reach, it makes the platforms more complete for renters, and it drives more traffic to Zillow's partners. It's a total win-win-win. And look, this whole strategy isn't just some theory on a whiteboard. It is working spectacularly. The proof? It's right there in their explosive growth numbers. All right, first up, the users. That flywheel we talked about, it has attracted a staggering, and I mean staggering, 36 million people to Zillow's rental platform every single month. And all those eyeballs have, in turn, pulled in an industry-leading 2.4 million rental listings. That makes it the single largest marketplace out there, period. And you can bet the property managers have noticed. The number of paid advertising properties has jumped by almost 30% in less than a year. That just proves the platform is delivering real, tangible value to them. But here's the most important part, the key takeaway from all these numbers. It's the acceleration. Check this out. Revenue growth jumped from 33% in the first quarter to 36% in the second, and now it's projected to hit 40% in the third. So that flywheel isn't just spinning, it's literally gaining speed every single quarter. So with that kind of unstoppable momentum behind them, Zillow is now setting its sights on an incredibly ambitious goal for the future of its rental business. What's that goal? Well, their next major milestone is hitting $1 billion in annual rental revenue. $1 billion. And honestly, given their accelerating growth, that massive number seems more and more within reach.
But maybe the most exciting part for Zillow and their investors is this. Despite all of this incredible success, they've still only captured less than half of the total rental market. Just think about that. The potential for future growth is absolutely massive. There is so much more runway ahead of them. And all of this leaves us with one final provocative question. With this powerful virtuous cycle spinning faster every quarter, and with so much of the market still left to conquer, has Zillow built a lead in the rental space that is simply, well, unbeatable?